Title: Cardi B weeps with tears of joy after Steff Diggs announcement. A morning that changed everything. The sun had barely risen over Los Angeles when Cardi B woke up to a flurry of notifications. Her phone buzzed relentlessly, Instagram tags, Twitter mentions, fan edits, all screaming one name: Steff Diggs. At first, she rolled her eyes, assuming it was just another social media rumor. But something in the energy felt different that morning. The world was holding its breath, and somehow, she was at the center of it. Cardi slipped out of bed, wrapped in a silk robe, her long nails tapping rapidly across her screen. When she finally opened her notifications, she froze. Breaking: Steff Diggs makes emotional live announcement, fans stunned. Her heart skipped a beat. The announcement that broke the internet. It was 9 a.m. on the East Coast when Steff Diggs, the Buffalo Bills star wide receiver, went live on Instagram. Over 1.2 million people tuned in, an audience usually reserved for halftime shows and presidential debates. Dressed casually in a white hoodie and gold chain, he sat in front of the camera, visibly nervous. He took a deep breath before speaking. "I ain't usually the type to talk about personal stuff in front of the world," he began, his voice trembling slightly. "But sometimes, when you've met someone who changes your life, you owe it to yourself, and to the people who've been watching, to speak your truth." Fans filled the comments with question marks and heart emojis. "Is he talking about Cardi?" someone wrote. "Bro, don't play with us," another replied. Then he smiled, that unmistakable, confident Steff Diggs grin, and said it. "Cardi, you're the realest person I've ever met. You stood by me when no one knew what was going on behind the scenes. You didn't care about fame, you cared about me. So today, I just want the world to know, I'm ready to make this official." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Inside it glimmered a diamond ring so bright it could blind the camera. "Cardi B, will you be mine?" The comments section exploded. "OMG. No way this is real. The internet is broken." Cardi B's reaction: a flood of emotions. Cardi dropped her phone the second she saw the ring. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. Her heart pounded so loud it drowned out everything else, the sound of her phone buzzing, her team shouting from the hallway, even the faint echo of Steff's voice still playing through the speaker. Tears welled up in her eyes, not of shock or confusion, but pure, overwhelming joy. For months, rumors had swirled about their quiet connection. They'd been spotted at the same events, exchanging glances that fans couldn't ignore. But both had kept it low-key, determined to protect something real from the chaos of fame. Now, it was no longer a secret. Cardi sank to her knees, her hands covering her face, sobbing uncontrollably. "He really did it," she whispered through her tears. "He really said it." Her makeup artist, who'd been preparing her for a brand shoot, rushed in and froze. Cardi was crying, but smiling through every tear. "Girl, what happened? Did someone hurt you?" "No," Cardi said between sniffles, laughing softly. "He just made me the happiest woman in the world." A love story hidden in plain sight. The truth was, Steff and Cardi had known each other far longer than the world realized. Their connection had started months earlier, at a private charity event in New York. Both had been dealing with personal storms, Cardi recovering from heartbreak and public drama, and Steff dealing with the relentless pressure of fame and performance. They bonded over something rare in celebrity circles: genuine understanding. "You don't have to be perfect to be worth it," he had told her once. Those words stayed with Cardi. They'd kept their connection quiet, exchanging late-night texts and private dinners away from the cameras. While the internet speculated about everyone else in her life, she and Steff built something sacred in silence. And now, he had spoken for both of them, with the world watching. Social media explosion. Within minutes of the live stream, the internet erupted like never before. Hashtag Cardi and Steff. Hashtag Steff proposes live. Hashtag tears of joy. Celebrities, athletes, and fans flooded timelines with messages of disbelief and celebration. Lizzo tweeted, "This man just raised the bar for all of us, loudly crying face, loudly crying face, loudly crying face." LeBron James commented, "Respect, my guy. Real recognize real." Even Offset, yes, Offset, posted a cryptic message. "Wish y'all peace and happiness. For real." Fans were divided between shock and pure happiness. But one thing was undeniable: this was the biggest celebrity love story of the year. The call that melted millions. Moments after the announcement, Steffan's phone rang. He didn't even need to check the caller ID. "Hey," Cardi's voice trembled through the line. "Hey, B," he said softly. "You saw it?" "Saw it? Boy, I'm crying my lashes off right now." They both laughed through tears. "You really went live for me?" she asked. "I told you, I'm done hiding. You deserve the world to see you the way I do." "Steff, you really gone make me cry again," she said, voice cracking. "Then cry, baby. Cry happy tears." He smiled, knowing she was on the other end, hands trembling, heart racing, the same way his had been before he pressed go live. A public reunion. 2 days later, paparazzi spotted them together in Miami. Cardi was radiant, a flowing white dress, gold jewelry glinting in the sunlight. Stefan held her hand tightly, protective but proud. The crowd that gathered around them cheered wildly, chanting their names as they smiled and waved. One fan shouted, "We love you, Cardi." She turned, eyes still glistening, and said, "I love y'all too. Love always wins." Stefan looked at her, not as a fan favorite or superstar, but as the woman who saw his soul when no one else cared. And in that moment, with the cameras flashing and the world watching, Cardi whispered something only he could hear. "You made me believe in love again." Epilogue, the ring, the tears, the forever. Weeks later, in a Vogue interview, Cardi revealed the story behind the ring. "He told me he picked the diamond not because it was the biggest," she said, smiling, "but because it was shaped like a heart, and he said that's how I made him feel. So yeah. I cried like a baby." Stefan, in his own interview with GQ, said simply, "I didn't just propose to Cardi B. I proposed to my peace." The world melted. From the chaos of fame to the beauty of vulnerability, they had found each other in the most unexpected way, and shared it with millions. Closing scene. Late one night, after the cameras stopped flashing and the tweets stopped trending, Cardi sat on her balcony overlooking the city lights. Stefan came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, and kissed her shoulder. "You still crying?" he teased. "Yeah," she laughed softly. "But this time, it's happy tears." He smiled and whispered, "Then let's keep it that way forever." And under the soft glow of moonlight, Cardi B, the woman who had seen the highest highs and lowest lows of fame, let her tears fall freely. Not from pain. Not from heartbreak. But from joy, the pure, overwhelming joy of being truly loved. Title: Cardi B weeps with tears of joy after Steff Diggs announcement. The internet was in complete disbelief when a teary-eyed Cardi B went live on Instagram, clutching her chest and struggling to contain her emotions after what she called the most beautiful surprise of her life. The cause of her tears? A shocking, heart-melting announcement made by NFL star Steff Diggs, one that not only changed the course of their rumored relationship but also broke the internet in a way fans never expected. Dizzy the build-up, whispers and hidden clues. For weeks, online detectives had been piecing together subtle hints from both celebrities. Cardi B, recently navigating public turbulence in her personal life, had been posting cryptic quotes about new beginnings, real love, and healing energy. Meanwhile, Steff Diggs, known for his charm both on and off the field, was spotted liking and commenting on Cardi's photos more often than usual. Paparazzi caught them leaving a private dinner in Los Angeles, and though both remained silent, fans immediately began connecting the dots. Cardi's smile in those photos, radiant and unguarded, told a story of its own. Little did the world know, something deeper was brewing behind the scenes. Candle the night everything changed. It was during a charity gala in New York City, an event Cardi had attended thinking she was there simply to perform, that Steff Diggs decided to take everyone by surprise. As Cardi finished her fiery set, the lights dimmed, and a short video began playing on the massive LED screen behind her. At first, the audience saw flashes of Cardi's biggest moments, her Grammy win, her motherhood journey, her strength in the face of heartbreak. Then, the montage transitioned into personal clips that no one had ever seen before, selfies of her laughing with Steff, goofy clips of them in matching hoodies, and a slow-motion moment of him holding her hand backstage. The crowd gasped. Cardi froze. Moments later, Steff appeared on stage in a sharp black tuxedo, his voice trembling as he took the microphone. Speech ballooned Steff's emotional declaration. "I didn't plan to fall for you," Steff began, his voice echoing across the silent room. "But you came into my life at a time when I didn't even know I needed love. You showed me what loyalty, laughter, and real energy feel like. You're strong, you're beautiful, and I just want the world to know, I love this woman right here." The audience erupted. Cardi, completely taken aback, covered her mouth, her long nails trembling as tears spilled down her cheeks. Then, in front of everyone, Steff reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. But instead of a ring, he revealed a diamond pendant shaped like a microphone and a football intertwined, symbolizing the merging of their two worlds. "This isn't a proposal," he clarified through a smile. "It's a promise. A promise that I'll be there, not for the cameras, not for the fame, but for the real you. Always." Loudly crying face Cardi's reaction, "I ain't never felt this way." The moment he finished, Cardi ran toward him, her tears glistening under the stage lights. She hugged him tightly, whispering something only he could hear. Cameras captured her face, glowing, emotional, and overwhelmed. When she finally took the mic, her voice cracked. "I ain't gon' lie," she began, wiping her tears with the back of her hand. "I done been through a lot, y'all. Like, a lot. But what this man just did, that's real love right there. Nobody ever made me feel this safe, this seen, and this appreciated." The room exploded in applause. Even celebrities in attendance, from Lizzo to Offset's own label mates, were visibly moved by the sincerity of the moment. Sparkling heart backstage emotions. After the announcement, Cardi retreated backstage where she was immediately surrounded by her team, and paparazzi, of course. Cameras captured her sitting down, her makeup smudged, still crying, but smiling uncontrollably. "I feel blessed," she told reporters through happy sobs. "You know, sometimes life just be throwing you curveballs, and then out of nowhere, God shows you why you had to go through all that pain first. Steff's heart is pure. He's not trying to play me, not trying to control me, he just loves me for me. And that's rare." Steff joined her moments later, wrapping an arm around her shoulder and planting a soft kiss on her forehead. "She deserves peace," he said quietly. "That's all I'm trying to give her." Globe showing Europe-Africa social media meltdown. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Clips of the announcement racked up millions of views. Fans flooded Twitter and Instagram with messages like, "Cardi crying made me cry, loudly crying face, real love still exists. Steff Diggs just raised the bar for every man on earth. This is the soft era Cardi B deserves." Even celebrity friends chimed in. Megan Thee Stallion commented, "About time somebody treats my sis right, red heart," while Beyoncé's mother, Tina Knowles, posted, "Love wins." Cardi's live that night broke records. She thanked her fans through sniffles, her face still glowing. "I don't know what tomorrow brings," she said softly, "but tonight I'm happy." Rose days after, the world can't stop talking. Over the following days, Steff and Cardi were spotted together, laughing, holding hands, looking genuinely at peace. Cardi's team confirmed she was taking time off to focus on her happiness and upcoming projects. Stefan, on his end, dedicated his next game win to her, shouting into the cameras, "This one's for my queen." Cardi posted the clip on her Instagram story with a simple caption, "Loudly crying face ring revolving hearts." Their chemistry, their energy, their unapologetic happiness, it became